What's up, everybody? On the last video we posted, somebody requested that we make a video, or in this case a series of videos, about natural, legitimate ways to build links. Your wish is our command. So without further ado, I'm Natalie, today's topic is link building through blogging, and you are watching WooRank TV. Before we start, let's make one thing really clear. Every website is different, so no link building strategy should be the same. This should definitely not be a comprehensive guide for all of your link building efforts. However, while a big part of your strategy should definitely include competitor research and digging into the link profiles of other successful websites in your niche, there are many other avenues that have been tested and tried by SEOs around the world, and that we think would help you on your way. Those techniques are what we want to talk about in this series. And remember, you should never focus all your energy on just one method. The more diverse and natural your link profile is, the more future-proof it'll be. Today, we're talking about blogs, both starting your own, guest posting, and engaging with other industry blogs through comments. Creating useful, engaging content on your site is still the #1 way to build links naturally. How many times have you seen a piece of content that you liked online, whether it was about work or another article about your snowflake personality type, and shared it with your friends or colleagues? When it comes to blogging for your business, that's exactly the reaction that we're looking for. The trick is to make sure you know who you're writing for, create content that they like, and make sure they hear about it. Okay, we know it's not that easy. Let's break it down a little bit more. A great first step can be doing research into content that was successful on your competitors' websites to give you some insight about which topics work well for your niche. There are a bunch of tools that allow you to check the number of shares that a page has had, including shared count and share tally. If we've forgotten your favorite sharing tool, please feel free to share it with us in the comments below. It can be tempting to rehash a topic that's been successfully written about before, but you're much more likely to get attention if you come up with something original, or at least put a new spin on it to make it unique. We know this isn't always the easiest thing, so we've included some resources in the description below to help you out. After you've figured out who you're writing for and the sort of content they react well to, there's only one thing left to do. Write. Consistency is one of the most important parts of creating a blog. If people like what you write, they'll come back for more, so you always want to have fresh content for them to look through and engage with. A lot of places post on their blogs daily, or even more, but that's a lot. If you can, just start with trying to publish weekly or bi-weekly and go from there. When it comes to getting your blog out there, it all comes down to putting it in front of the right people. Obviously, people who follow you on social media are already interested in your work, so make sure to push it on the networks where your users are hanging out the most, and use hashtags to get the attention of people who like a certain topic. And don't forget about users in other time zones. If this applies to you, it can be useful to make sure you're pushing your content at multiple times to make sure you hit the most convenient time for everyone. You can also invite people to sign up to receive emails about new content, which guarantees a wider readership. If you do that, make sure to invite people to engage with what you've written by commenting or sharing so that they don't just read it in their email. Remember what I said, that no two link building strategies will be the same? That's really applicable here. Creating a blog for your business isn't always suitable, whether the reason is lack of resources to keep it maintained or an industry that doesn't lend itself well to inspiring content. Creating a blog for the sake of SEO can actually be worse than not having one at all. So in this case, it can make more sense to create some evergreen content in the form of guides or white papers that'll help your readers for years to come and naturally generate links when referenced in resources. These pages can also be optimized to rank in search engines for related keywords, giving your website another great source of traffic. We're going to talk about document sharing in a future video in this series, so stay tuned. Now that we've talked about setting up your own blog, let's talk about commenting on other people's blogs. We're going to start with the obvious. Only comment on a post that you actually have something to say about. Commenting as a strategy for link building in itself is not a great idea. If done well, it can be a valid benefit, but make sure that it's worth commenting regardless of whether you get a link back to your site. When considering leaving a comment with a link on a post, first consider whether you would accept that type of comment on your own blog. If the answer is no, don't do it. It's that easy. These days, most blogs add a nofollow tag to links within comments to prevent link equity, colloquially called link juice, do you remember that video? From being passed. If you're still looking to use blog comments as part of your link building strategy, here are our suggestions for staying awesome and not spammy. First, leave your black hat at the door. Spam comments are super frustrating for bloggers, and while filters can be added to prevent many of them, there are always going to be some that slip through. Make sure that your comment has no reason to be flagged as spam. What's more, some commenting platforms, like Discuss, allow bloggers to mark comments as spam and even add users to their blacklist, which is shared with other bloggers. If the majority of comments you make are marked as spam, most blog owners won't even consider your comment, no matter what's in it. Second, don't over-optimize your links. You usually get the chance to add your website URL when registering to make a comment, which is normally linked from your name. That is natural. However, adding keywords as your name and linking to your website is not natural. Your name isn't "make money from home easy, $$, and pretending it is will only hurt you in the long run, even if you've benefited from it before. Can we agree on that? Some people also try to get away with adding exact match anchor text links to the comment itself. Most bloggers, including the faithful moderators at the WooRank blog, will dismiss a comment with anchor text links without even reading it. Next, keep your comment on topic. Make sure your comment is relevant to the blog post. Be thoughtful and avoid being too generic. Provide useful feedback, including your thoughts and opinions on the subject covered. Not only are they more likely to be published than comments like "great post" and "thanks for posting this useful information," they'll also show that you're critically engaged with topics in your field, which looks great for you. Link naturally to resources. If you have a high quality and relevant resource that you want to link to in comments, link directly to the content with the full URL, rather than linking to the homepage of the site. This keeps things natural, and even if a nofollow is applied, you still might be able to drive some visitors to the resource. And finally, if you see a post where the majority of comments are spam, why bother commenting there? It doesn't do you any good to have a valid comment that'll never be seen because you left it in a bad place. Besides, would you trust a comment that you saw nestled amongst these? I didn't think so. Very briefly, let's talk about guest blogging. This can be a great way to get your name out there as an expert in your field, both as an individual and for a company. That should be the point of guest blogging, to share interesting information with people who will find it relevant. If you happen to get links from it back to your website, consider that an exciting bonus. In January 2014, Google's Matt Cutts, you might remember him from his many videos. He looks like this. Published a blog post about guest posting and why it should not be used to build links. It was definitely aimed at those who overdo it, particularly on low-quality blogs. As long as you're doing it only a reasonable amount, and for the right reasons, and by that I mean not with the sole purpose of building links, it can still be a great way to build awareness, traffic, and get a link or two back to your site. When you have your own blog, it can be easier to approach owners of other popular blogs within your niche about guest posting opportunities. Being part of the online community in your industry will also help you to gain credibility. People are more likely to want you to write on their blog if they can see that you have a respectable following that you frequently engage with. That's all for now. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And of course, feel free to post your thoughts, opinions, articles about your snowflake personality type, and requests for future videos in the comments below. There are more videos about link building coming at you in the next few weeks. Don't want to miss a thing? Don't forget to subscribe.